Awesome. So our recording has started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, depending on where you're joining us from. My name is Tomola Abiodun. I'm also known as Anu. I'm the founder of Titanara Consulting, and I'll be taking you through this webinar today. Today we are going to be learning from our previous or our former, or I won't even call them former, our Titanara Consulting superstars who have been alums of our internship coaching program. We're going to be hearing from them today, talk about their internship success stories. I know that this group is a very diverse group with people that already got admitted to business school or people that are thinking about coming to business school. I want to believe most people already did get admitted or are planning to get admitted to resume business school this year. So we will be learning a whole lot from our alums, and this is going to be a session where you can actually speak. You'll be able to talk. You'll be put in meeting rooms. I would actually love if we're very considerate of others. I mean, I'm going to share rules and regulations for being in the meeting rooms with our alums, but you have an opportunity to speak to people. So please come on camera, right? And let our alums see you. It's easier to connect with people that you actually can see virtually than just connecting with people that have turned off their camera. So I will take you a little bit about Tatiana Consulting. A few of you know this, and we'll just get started. Okay, so who am I? My name is Tamola, as I said. I currently work as a senior technical product manager at Microsoft. I've been at Microsoft for 5.5 years. After I graduated from business school in 2019 at the Ohio State University Fisher College of Business. I'm also known as Anu. I'm very passionate about helping students, young professionals achieve the next level of their career success. I'm actually really very intense, but today I'm coming with a smiling face. But I'm actually very intense. I strongly believe in hard work, and I strongly believe in resilience. I do not lie to people, and I do not expect that people believe that things are going to be very rosy and very easy. I believe in being very, very self-aware, knowing that the journey ahead of you is not easy at all and is really going to be tough. So a little bit about what Titanara Consulting is. Titanara Consulting is a coaching company. So I always see us like a school. A lot of times people call and say, "Are you an agency?" We're not an agency. We don't do anything like that. We're like a school, a proper school where we nurture you, we coach you, we train you so that you can be ready for the next level of opportunities that you would get. So we want to make sure that we are the connecting, we'll say the plug between where your present is and the future that you envision for yourself. And that can only be done by proper readiness and proper coaching and proper guidance. A lot of people that have achieved success by working with Titanal Consulting are people that have been able to put in their very best and been able to be dedicated and most importantly, be very, very resilient. So this is just like a few of the schools and a few of the companies that our clients have gotten admissions offers at, and they've gotten job offers at. I mean, if we're supposed to put everything here, we'll have like several slides. So we have compressed it a little bit so you all can just have a look at our success stories. Please, if you don't mind being on mute till you actually are called. So please be on mute. Thank you. So a few of our success stories, we offer group coaching, admissions, we offer one-on-one coaching. That's from the admission side. We actually do offer career services, very intense career services. And that's a huge focus for us because at the end of the day, it's not about getting into business school. It's about making the best out of your business school experience. And really, most people are in business school to elevate their career, to get to the next step of their career journey. And that's why we're here to help you succeed. So today, we are having our alum series. We actually do have 7 alums here with us, and that's a lot of alums. And we have our alums across like different years, class of 2023 to class of 2026. So depending on the context or the question that you want to ask, our alums fall within these categories. So I will be starting with I would say I want our alums to actually introduce themselves first. So introduce themselves, tell us the school they went to, I mean, their schools are here, the school they went to, if they're currently working, or if they're first year MBA, if they're second year MBA. And just tell us a little bit, just very short, a 1 to 2 minute story about how the Career Headstart program has impacted like their career and personal growth. That's what we'll be asking the alums to do. Please feel free to highlight like key milestones for you, challenges you overcame, how the program prepared you for success. Just about 2 minutes, because the candidate, the student, would actually be having more FaceTime with you in the focus group session. So here I'm gonna start with Jesuto for me.
Hey, hello everyone. My name is, as you can see, Jesutofumi Oguntoye. I'm a first year MBA student with Vanderbilt University. Prior to coming for my MBA, I worked as a strategy consultant for KPMG, and I'm concentrating now in strategy, finance, and operations and analytics. So just share like 1 to 2 minutes on how the Career Headstart program really helped me. So I would say it was like my foundation. So it was a foundation to ensure that I achieved success during the recruiting process. So I started off with this Career Headstart where I had opportunity to have insight into how to network effectively. Most importantly, it also helped me to ensure that I could manage my time because during the Career Headstart, as Tumi had mentioned, it's very rigorous where you have to, for instance, come up with your interview storybook. And as such, I was also a full-time, so I had like a full-time job. So having to do that with my work was quite arduous, but no, I was able to manage my time well because this is something you will learn and it's also a relevant skill that you would also need during the MBA program. So a major milestone here was as a result of this Career Headstart program, I already had my interview storybook, which helped me significantly during recruiting during the MBA program. But I would say one major thing that I want people to learn is to probably start now. And that's something that really helped me where I started now. I started networking with professionals that I wanted to, with professionals of companies that I wanted to work in. Also, as I mentioned earlier, I already had my interview storybook, and this Career Headstart program would also provide you with a lot of resources that would help you. So, for instance, if you want to go through the consulting career path, you would have a lot of resources on how to case properly. If you want to go into like the investment track, you would have insights on like the investment banking, the 400 investment banking book. So yeah, I would just say in a nutshell, it really helped me and served like as a foundation to ensuring that I achieve success during my recruiting process.
Thank you, Jesuto for me. Moturayo.
Yeah. Hi, Hannah. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. It's an absolute honor to be here. Good evening, everybody. Depending on where you're from, my name is Motunrayo Ogundairu. I'm a first year MBA student at University of Georgia, Thorey College of Business. Prior to my MBA, I started out my career in the non-for-profit space. I used to work with Junior Achievement Nigeria, where I helped to implement, nationwide programs across Nigeria. After that, I moved on to MTN Nigeria as a product marketer, manager, where I worked for 3 years before I started my MBA journey. And I would say that for me, the Jumpstart actually did three things for me majorly. It's the ability to kind of have a working strategy to work with during my recruitment process. So one thing that this program did for me was, I remembered when we actually had like sessions with Anu during the pre-MBA session, one very important tool was coming up with a full-blown strategy where we were able to kind of identify the industry we want to go into, what are the kind of job roles that you're actually looking out for, and then what are the companies that you would be, applying to when recruitment actually do start. And for me, also having like a plan A, plan B, plan C also kind of helped me, navigate that journey as, I move on the career journey. And I would say also that the second thing for me was also being able to kind of craft my story and tell like a very good, compelling story. I used to be, I don't know if it's similar to every other person, but like being in, I think it's a Nigerian thing where we are always kind of very humble about telling our stories or what are some of the achievements that we've had. But I think one thing that this program did for me was being able to kind of be, for lack of better word, kind of brag about some of the achievements that I have that I thought they were actually like little, and then being able to tell them in a very compelling way and also like communicates the impact. That was one other thing that the Jumpstart program was able to do for me. And I think the last major thing was also, being able to learn how to network effectively. I also remember how, Anu helped us to kind of craft different introductory messages to people depending on what criteria or what the category they belong to. For example, how do you approach an alum? How do you approach somebody who is an HR? How do you approach somebody who is on the road that you're actually trying to apply for? And I think that kind of, helped me to, be very effective in my communication and also like networking with people, because I'm then able to kind of, communicate to them differently in a way that they want to like engage with you. And maybe also crafting like the first person mentioned, like crafting your interview stories. That was also something that I was able to gain out of that. And I would say for me, the challenge that actually one of the challenges that helped me to overcome, number one, is having confidence and to be able to tell my story better, and also being able to kind of network effectively and then keep that relationship going forward. I'll also say that the program has also kind of prepared me. So right now I was able to kind of land internship, I think 3 internship in February. So I would also kind of associate that to, being able to kind of prepare early in the journey. So I believe that this is a very good opportunity for people to really take advantage of. And yeah, pretty much it for me. And I'll also be able to kind of, happy to answer more questions as we move on.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, Material. Eva.
Hi, everyone. My name is Eva. I'm a first year student at the University of Michigan Ross. So yeah, I'm actually class of 2026, not 2025. But I'm very happy to expedite. So yeah, so my journey with the Head Start program was really amazing. So 3 things that they actually did for me. One was recruitment strategy. I think strategy is something we know about in our professional life, but we struggle to carry it into other parts of our lives in terms of what else we want to do, your goals and ambitions. So the Head Start program actually really helped me with that. The second one was actually early networking, which I know, so with my profession in Africa, like in Nigeria, Ghana, and other countries I've worked with, it wasn't really something that we knew we needed to get a job. So learning that with the Head Start program, knowing the culture and the professional culture of the US was really eye-opening for me. So I had to learn that early networking strategy. And then the other was effective communication. So yes, we know we can communicate, we can talk, we can articulate, but sometimes you need a strategy. You need to know how to communicate to different people, people from different cultures, people with different values, and people who have different focus and different importance to their life. So these were the 3 things that the Head Start program actually helped me with. Prior to business school, I actually worked about 8 years with Unilever. So most of what I did was strategy, strategy, strategy. But then carrying it into my own personal goals, I think I was all over the place. And I was actually only just had like the vision of how I knew how things were to be done in Africa. So I like the fact that Head Start really just opened my horizon and made me see things from a different angle. I had to like think of how to network to people from different backgrounds. Not everyone thinks like a Nigerian, not everyone talks like a Nigerian. In Nigeria, you have to be respectful in a way. I mean, we call respect in eye service kind of respect. Sama, you don't want to talk about your achievements, just like Motirea said. But then you come here and you list out all of your achievements and you're like, oh my God, I'm actually a star. Because you hear these people talk about things that they've done. You've done like 3x of that and you just can't articulate it. And that's something I had to really learn how to do. And for every chat or coffee chat I had to go into, I just went in to sell myself, like to tell the person that I'm actually going to be a good resource for you. Like it's a win-win situation here. I'm not begging you for a job. Well, I'm begging you for a job, but I also need you to know that you're also going to get value from me. So that's something the Head Start program really helped me to do. I think the other thing was also preparation. I can overemphasize that. Like sometimes we are like, I can go into an interview, I can speak, I can talk, but there's a strategy that you need to go into that interview. You need to be able to talk to the right people. You need to know who to talk to. You also need to have a plan. What industries do I want to go to? What's my plan A? What's my plan B? And what's my plan C? So these were the things that Anu really just put together. I remember when I first joined, to be fair, I joined the program just because I saw it there. Most of the MBA preps I had joined, they were not from Africa. I joined Access Plus. So I was preparing with like other people. But then when I saw something from Titan Arrow and it felt like something that was strictly for Africans, I was like, okay, let me just sign up for it. I honestly didn't expect it to be that amazing, to be that impactful. It was just something that I felt like I had extra money. I just wanted to do it. Like, let me just do it. So I got into it and oh my God, it felt like a whole school. It's like, okay, get me your CV. I thought I was good at putting together a CV, but a CV for school is very different from a CV for a job. So that was I remember sending my CV to Anu. She ripped it apart. I was like, oh my God, 8 years of experience. She just told me that I had nothing here. So that was really insightful. When I came to school, I actually started helping people to craft their CVs. Because we didn't have to go through that whole process again. I had already gone through it. So I would say if you have not signed up for it, I would say you should go ahead and sign up for it. It's money well spent. I don't recall how much it is anymore, but I don't think that's an amount of money that you want to cry over. You would spend way more than that when you get here anyway. So if you started the application process, there's a lot for you to spend. So this is something that you need to have the right strategy for recruitment. So yeah, thanks. And I'm happy to answer any questions when we're done with this.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank you.
Eva. Thank you. Dolapo.
Hi everyone. My name is Dola Kwadegbite. I'm a second year MBA in University of Georgia, Terry College of Business. So I'm about to be done. But to just talk about like my journey with EdStart. So I think I've known Tommy for a while, but after I got admitted to business school, what really made me, sign up for the program was because I was thinking about how best to position myself for the US job market, especially coming from Nigeria. So prior to business school, I worked with Schlumberger for about 7 years. So I was in the oil and gas industry. I was very science focused. I did geophysics in school, so I didn't really know anything about business. And I was trying to think about, how to translate my previous experience to the kind of job that I wanted. So I was looking at something in consulting and also looking at tech, but I felt like my experience was not very tailored to either of those industries. So I was just trying to think about, okay, how do I frame, where I'm coming from so I'm attractive to the job market. And I think that Titanaro was very helpful with helping me do this, to help me, sell my story, tell my story and sell myself. And I felt like during the start program, I was really able to ask myself, thought provoking questions about what I really wanted at this stage of my career, what kind of company I wanted to go in, what values are important to me in a company, just all of those different things that, we know we're looking for a job, but you also want to think about, so like, how does this job align to my long-term and short-term goals? So I feel like Titana was very pivotal in helping me do that. And then I also feel like one of the major things that I got from Titana, apart from like the preparation part and everything, was, making sure that I knew the wealth of opportunities that were available out there for MBAs in the US, like from pre-MBA to the full recruiting cycle. Like before Titana, I'd heard about like, pre-MBA program, but I really just looked at it as, something that you would just do to kind of get your leg in the get your foot in the door in most companies, just do like all of those webinars and all of that. But I didn't know it was possible to get your internship before you even come into the US at all. And I think that was something that Titana really helped me with. So the program helped me, was very helpful in making sure that I knew that there were these opportunities out there. It also prepared me to, to be able to step into those opportunities. So like Eva said, like I had to make sure that my resume was robust, like she broke down all of the things that I had there and made sure that everything was very tailored to what companies look for in the US, even starting from like my, job role, like the way you frame your job role, the way you frame what you've been doing, all of that. So I feel like Tommy really helped me feel prepared to, take on the US job market. And also in terms of not just resumes, also, cover letter, making sure that you have an interview storybook, because you don't want to wait till you've gotten into the US to do that. You have like basically no time. And it's always good. And it's really called, that's why they call it head start. Like you need to get a head start on these things because a lot of your mates are probably not even doing this yet. So it's good for you to, take advantage of all of these opportunities and make sure that when you are ready, when you are there, you are ready to go. You get what I mean? Like, it's not just when you've seen job opportunities that you're now trying to be like, oh, let me build my resume, let me write a story. Make sure that you have all of those things coming in. And I think the Headstart program really helps you position for that. And another thing that I think I got from that is, access to Tommy's great network. I don't think there's anybody, but I know maybe this is an exaggeration, but I don't think there's anybody that is doing MBA in the US as a Nigerian, or let's say that's an African, that Tommy almost doesn't have a link to. So I think that the EdStar program also helped me gain a great network to that, gain access to that great network. And she was able to help me connect to anybody that I needed to talk to when I was prepping for, any particular company I was interested in. And I think all of these things, really contributed to me getting the career growth, getting the role that I wanted after my MBA. So again, I'm happy to answer any questions during this session and even afterwards. So thank you.
Thanks, Dolakor. Olaolu.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So hi everyone, my name is Olaoluwa Kolawole. You can just call me Ola. It's much more easier. I graduated from Arizona State University, class of 2023. I was in the Head Start program 2020/2021, and alongside all of the things that have been said by Eva, Jesutofumi, Motorayo, Dolapo, I would just say that one thing the Head Start did for me was direction on what to do and where to go. So a lot of the things that the other folks have already said is an addition, but I would say for me it was where to go and what to do. And I say that because I was coming into a new country where things were a lot different from where I was in Nigeria. So in Nigeria, I worked in Access Bank for about 6 years, and then I moved to the US, did business school, and now I work at EY. In terms of direction, it was more of, okay, now that I'm in this country, what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? When you're young and your parents are telling you, do this, do that, do this, do that. As much as, yes, we're adults and we can figure stuff out, for me, it was more of leaning into someone who already could point me in the direction to go. And that saved me a ton of time rather than doing a lot of trial and error. So I'd say that was one particular benefit I got from the Head Start. There were some other, so I'll just list some of them. So an example was, aside the usual, resume, telling your story, networking and all that, it was also, starting your job search early, because I would say for maybe 80, 90, 100% of people on this call, the goal after the MBA is, to kind of get a job at least, pending whatever it is you want to do with your life. So getting started on that early, knowing what to do, knowing where to look, knowing what jobs to apply to, being open-minded, I would say was something that was very beneficial. Another thing is owning your journey and knowing that your journey is different from every other person. Even if you're two who came from Nigeria or Ghana or Africa or somewhere in Africa or somewhere else in the world, knowing that two of your classmates with the same background, your journeys are not the same. So recognizing what that journey is for you and going head on into it. I would say that for the Head Start program, the most important thing is, if you give yourself to it, you get into the MBA program realizing that a lot of the work that career services and every other school coach will be having you do, you would have done it in the Head Start program. So you already resumed the Head Start program miles ahead of people. Where people are still trying to adjust resumes, you're already applying to like tons of jobs. I had several friends who got their internship offers for end of year one going into year two, even before they started the MBA program. Like, that is, before they landed in the US, they already had internships secured. So I would say the Head Start program gives you, that kind of direction. Literally, where do I need to apply to? What do I need to say? What do I need to do? Step by step. So nothing bogus, nothing, no bogus. What it's like, this is what you need to do. Alongside all of the other resources you will get. So I would say that was the most important thing for me. So I mentioned earlier, I work at EY. I got my internship offer two months after I started the MBA program, and that was because I was at a National Black Recruitment event. Things went well. I got the offer in October of 22 for October of 21 for the internship that was starting in June of 22. So again, nothing is cast in stone, but I would say being pragmatic and doing what you need to do, being serious about it, and you should be good to go. In closing, the picture you see on the screen, I'm not as serious as that suggests, so I smile a lot. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. So we have good news and praise left. So good news and praise, please could you help us in just like 1 minute each so we can open the rooms, because I know people are very anxious to ask our participants like more questions. So Goody, can you start?
Hi everyone, good day. My name is Good News Jeffrey, class of 2024, MBA John Hopkins University. Started working with Anu in 2022, and I would say it has been a very great experience. Helping me to strategically position myself, coming from Nigeria into the US, a different country, a different job landscape, and also helping me understand the importance of starting early and doing what you want to do on time. I secured my internship with Amazon as a senior finance analyst prior to coming to the US. And also I was able to leverage the resources that Anu provided to get my return offer. I currently work as a finance manager in Amazon. So I have a non-traditional background coming from an industrial chemistry undergrad, working across healthcare and tech. So I really don't know which story I want to tell, but Anu kind of helped me put, the different points together, develop a map, a success map for what next I want to do in the US, help me curate different interview behavioral stories, and most importantly, network, and also how to interview and answer questions in the US. When I was in Nigeria interviewing, for example, in Guarantee Trust Bank, when they ask me a question, I'll tell them what I did or how I would do it in the future. But here in America, they want to see what you've done and how you did it. What did you achieve? So it was a very, very important piece of success for me. So one last advice for anyone that I have on this call is the most important thing is not paying the money. The most important thing is, are you ready to put in the work? It's a very rigorous process. So after paying, if you don't put in the work, you might just lose out on the race. So you need to follow through everything that she advised. I know one time I told her, you know what, I'm no longer interested. This is too much. And she was like, no, you have to continue. So get registered and also try to follow everything she tells you to the letter. And I think you'll be successful.
Thank you, Goody. And then finally praise before we open the rooms.
Hi everyone, my name is Praise Ifetogun. I'm currently at Arizona State University, class of 2025. I started working with Anu in 2023. And I would say that working with Anu was like my accountability partner, making sure that the things that I wanted to do, I got to doing them, because I think back in Nigeria, there's always like a lot of things conflicting with your time, and the application process itself. Sometimes you kind of need somebody to be on your neck and say, that JRA, I don't like this code, do it again. So things like that. And I know it's definitely that person. Also, as someone had stated, in terms of network, so we're coming to the US, she's kind of like she becomes your right hand man. Like once you start working with her, she's kind of making sure that you're on track to get to where you want to be. And I interned at Bayer at it's a pharmaceutical company, and full time I'll be going to Microsoft. My general advice to everybody will be that, you know, be relentless in the pursuit of the things that you want. And also, one of the advantages of working with Titan R is that you start early. I think it's important to even fail early, because that way you're able to know what you're doing wrong, what you need to improve on, and having a resource to turn to is definitely an advantage that it's important to have in your back pocket. And not a lot of MBAs might be aware that it's good to have a resource that you're looking to on that journey. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of today's session. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you all. 7 of you. It's been really great. So we have our rooms open.
What I was going to ask is, because interestingly, I'm also going to ASU.
Oh, okay.
Before, and I've connected with Praise before. She said
Okay.
she did an internship at Bayer. So when she mentioned now that
Yes.
for full time she's going to Microsoft, I wanted to ask,
Yes.
because I think I've been on one of your webinars where you spoke about how difficult it is to, recruit during like the full time season, even though you did that. So like, are there different strategies when it comes to recruiting full time compared to internship? Since she was able to get, two different roles, both doing internship.
Yes. Yes. So yes, it's difficult, but it's not impossible. Like, as I would say, it's not easy because a lot of people assume that for full time, then it's easier for you to get in. Now, the reason why it's much difficult is for internships, when you are hired as an intern, a lot of the companies that hire you as an intern, they have the mindset to hire you as a full-time person. So for example, a lot of interns get return offers. So if an organization, maybe they want to take maybe 80 people, for example, in the class of 2025, and they already had about 70 people that interned with them last year. And out of the 70, 65 did really well. So they gave 65 people return offers. So the only space that they have available for full time is 15, which is much harder than the internship when 65 people were able to get in. And that is for organizations that are big. While some organizations, they like once they get you for an internship position, you have to really, really do badly. Like you have to be against yourself for you not to be able to get a full-time position. And they don't take a lot. So some of them just take 6 people for their internship. And those 6 people, they want to give full-time offers to. So they don't open full-time positions. So there are lesser companies that have full-time positions open, which makes it a little harder. In fact, in the last 3-4 years, Microsoft has not had full-time positions open. They just had full-time positions open this time. For the first time in 3 years. Yes. So that's what makes it harder, but it's not impossible. I have people that have gotten Amazon. I've had people that have gotten good roles for full time, but they had to work twice as hard. I got 3 offers for full time, but I had to work really, really hard because a lot of the companies, for example, Amgen, I really liked Amgen. I had an interview with Amgen for internship, but I did not convert it. I didn't get an offer, which is part of like the failure stories I always share with you guys of how I struggled in my first year. There was no Amgen full-time position open, right? And when I mean full-time position, it does not mean that Amgen wasn't taking people. Yes, they were, but like university recruiting, the one that has MBA graduating at this particular time, right? University recruiting specific roles, they didn't have it open. So if I didn't get in for an internship, the only opportunity that I would have had would have been just in time, which is industry hiring. And that means I'll have to compete with people that have like industry experience and they're not really looking at it from, oh, I have an MBA degree. They are looking at it from, do you have this specific experience? Like you have to match it. So that's where they will be saying things like, oh, maybe you need to have maybe experience in marketing a particular cancer product or something like that. It has to be very specific, unlike university recruiting that is more general. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. I should add that I've enrolled actually for the program.
Oh yeah, yes, I know. You were like our first enrollee, so yes.
Yeah, because at this
So
stage,
yes, I know.
I still need a bit of clarity, and I really hope I can get that.
Okay. So just send me an email. I think you all have my email address. I'll put it in the chat again. Send me an email with the specific people that you want to connect with and the question, and I'll make the connection. And I'll let them know that you wanted to join their room and you were not able to, and they'll be able to. I mean, they are busy, but they might be able to spare you some time to talk to you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. Do we have any questions? Any other person has a question? I'm going to be closing the room in 1 minute. So Grace, Teslimot, Raymond, Islamiat, no questions? No questions. Wow, okay. That's perfect. Okay, so I'm closing the rooms now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we're back.
Oh, okay. Told me there was.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes, I've closed the room. Yes, I closed the room.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
I closed all the rooms. Yes. So everybody
Okay.
should be back right now in the main. Everybody should be back The breakout rooms are closed. Everybody should be back now. Awesome. So I hope you all had like very great experiences in your rooms, and I hope you're all very considerate of your peers and not talking over each other. I want to hope and believe so. There were a few people, unfortunately, about 6 to 8 people who were not able to join. I don't know why that is. We'll be investigating that from our end. So the next time we have a call, that doesn't happen. But there are about 6 to 8 people that were not able to add to the meeting rooms. So now I'm saying this because my our alums, please, I might be sending an introductory message to you, introducing you to some of those 8 people because they will have specific questions. And since they were not able to join the breakout rooms, we would like to implore you to please answer their questions. Please, thank you very much. And for the rest of us, I hope we're able to have our questions answered. I want to use this time to thank our alums. Thank you so much for giving us 1 hour of your time on a Saturday morning. And I also want to thank everybody on the call for also joining in. Before we wrap up, I just want to highlight, I think for most of you, you've heard about the Headstart program before. The Headstart program for this year, for the general cohort, starts next week, Sunday. That's the 23rd of March. I know a few of you here already did enroll. If you have not enrolled and you are interested in enrolling, please send us an email ASAP, fill the enrollment link. The enrollment link will be included in the chat, but you don't have to wait to get the enrollment link. You can send us an email if you're thinking about like, oh, what the payment structure looks like, a payment plan. Just send us an email and we'll be sending you all of the information that you require. But just to highlight, the Headstart program covers all of the anchors of an effective job search to make sure that you are very, very, very prepared to land good internship opportunities. And there's something that the alums said that I believe resonates a whole lot with me, and all of them said it, which is you have to be able to put in the work, right? You must put in the work. Like, this is not about you paying. Like, if you don't put in the work, you don't put in the effort, you are not going to get any result. And for most of you, you've attended a couple of my webinars, you know that I'm all for saying the truth. And it's tough. It's tough love. Like, if you don't put in the work, you're not getting anything from it. Right? This is not a time for you to hope and just believe. This is a time for you to actually take action. You need to put in the work. You need to be serious. You need to be aggressive, right? There is no other way. Like, there is no other way. There is no shortcut to success when it comes to this at all. No shortcut at all to success. So if you are ready to put in the work, you will do really well. If you don't want to put in the work, it's going to be very, very hard. And at the end of the day, there is actually nobody can make you as successful as you want to make yourself. Nobody can chase you to be as successful as you want yourself to be successful. So no matter how much people try to tell you, oh, I think you should do this, you should do that. And it's not even just about attending the Headstart program. It's about dedicating yourself to knowing that I actually want to achieve success and I want to put all of this effort. If you're not going to put in effort, you're not going to put in the work, it's going to really, really be tough. And even with putting in the work, it is actually so tough. So there are times you will get very discouraged. There are times you will get very angry. And failures are very normal, right? A whole lot of the alums here, they have failed several interviews. I have failed several interviews. And I still fail interviews. Failures are very, very normal, right? You apply to a job, they drop you. That's very normal. Nobody is telling you that you apply to a job and you automatically get all of the interviews. I mean, if you apply to 90 jobs, I don't expect you to get 90 interviews. That's going to be too overwhelming. Like, who's going to do 90 interviews, right? So it's a game of probability and it's a game of numbers. But if you are prepared and you're ready, definitely things would work out. But if you get easily discouraged, you're not prepared, you're not ready, and you are just hoping that you can wing it, please don't wing it. Don't wing it. Winging it is a recipe for disaster. So please do not think you can wing anything. And winging things is going into things without preparing for it, right? And one last thing, all of them, they were like, oh, it was nice working with Anu. It was great. Thank you. But they did not tell you that I'm very, very tough. I'm very, very, very tough. Don't come late to my class. You will show your video in the class and you will do your assignments. If you don't do your assignments, you see me in your sleep. That's just how I am. You will not, you will just keep seeing me. So if you know that I don't want anybody to add problems to my life, maybe it might not be the right fit. But if you want somebody that would ginger you, be on top of your case, then I think that the Headstart program will be the best program for you. The registration link has been included in the chat, and you should all, I think most of you do have access to the pre-MB opportunities list, the sheet. The link will be included again in the chat if you don't have access. This week we'll be updating it with more information based off of more information that we have available to us. So please make sure that you check the link again for more information. And yes, be one of the first set of people to land an MBA internship in 2025. And you all have asked a lot of questions. And Toyigo, actually, I believe they extended the deadline to March 31st. I saw 31st, but you can check. I think I saw 31st again this morning. So if you've not applied to Toyigo, it's one of the opportunities in the PMB opportunity sheet. If you're interested in finance, please go ahead and apply. If you're interested in taking a student loan, you're wondering, how do I navigate this with Empower? Please use our Empower partnership link and reach out to us. We can help you navigate like the entire Empower application, speaking with our contact at Empower to help you answer questions pretty quickly so you can get like a faster turnaround. And if you want to just schedule a free 15-minute session to learn a little bit about what we do, please go ahead and also schedule this. The link would also be included in this chat box, and you also get it via email. But thank you all so much. Thank you, presenters. Thank you, alums. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Like I said, people that were not able to be scheduled in a meeting room, send me an email with the specific details, and I'll make the introduction. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.